Hi guys, hope you can hear me and see me. On my end, it says live. So, hi, how are you? As per I promised last week that I will do this more often. I will come in here 6:15 Tuesdays and have a live chat with you. And I am here. This is my second date, so well done me. So from the title, you know what we're going to talk about, but let me see if anybody's here so that you can tell me if you can hear me and see me before I start. So tell me real quickly before I start talking. Um, Not sure, but let's hope and let me continue so that I don't waste time. Okay, so you've seen the titles. About today's discussion is going to be about Black Panther and what it has done for African descent all over the world, and you know how it made us feel and what it did for us. That's what I wanted to talk about, but I want to start from, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because last week Chadwick Boseman passed away. Sadly, he was fighting with colon cancer, and he's been diagnosed since 2016. And hopefully, you guys can hear me and see me because I haven't heard anything. So it was really sad to hear that he passed away because he's really young. He's only 43 years old. And yeah, he's been fighting since 2016. Let me see. I'm not seeing, let me see, because I'm not seeing anyone. Not sure. Okay. Can you guys hear me and see me? I'm just looking like there's nothing. I can see nothing. I am not sure if I'm even visible. So if someone can see me, kindly let me know. You can hear me, you can see me, so that we can start. I've already started actually, but I don't know if you heard me or not. So still I'm not getting any comments. Anyone? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello? Hello? Okay, I'm not getting any comments, so hopefully I'll just talk and hope for the best that you guys can hear me. So as I just said, um, the reason why, yes, oh, you guys can hear me. Oh, thank God. I thought I was talking to myself the whole time. Yeah, the reason, great, thank you, Platinum and Susan. So as I was saying, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because last week Chadwick Boseman passed away. He was fighting with colon cancer. We did not know because he didn't make it public. He was diagnosed in 2016, which is mind-boggling because he was starring in movies and we did not know, and it's really unfortunate. But he passed away. I just want to say rest in peace first, and prayers to his family. And yeah, I really hope he rests in peace because he really gave us an awesome movie that will definitely impact not only us but next generation and generations to come because he was an awesome actor. So I wanted to first start by talking about him before I get to the topic of Black Panther, because obviously he's the one that acted as the main character, T'Challa. And yeah, rest in peace, and let's go. So what I wanted to talk about is Black Panther, the movie, and what it has done and what it means to us, African descents all over the world, and how it really impacted us. First, I can start from my own experience and how it made me feel. The day I watched it, I can only explain. I felt so empowered. I felt it was just a feeling I can't explain. It was a beautiful feeling, and I came out of that movie theater feeling like we can do anything, and I was just empowered. And I can only imagine how kids feel if I'm grown up and and I it meant so much to me. I can only imagine like kids looking at this and seeing themselves in the movie. Usually, superheroes, they are like usually white. Like I'm into superhero movies, not a lot, but yeah, I watch. And I have never felt this way about a superhero movie ever, even though I'm a fan. So I can only imagine what the kids must be feeling like when they're watching that, and they will feel empowered and they will feel inspired. And that's a really good role model to look up to. Like, think of all the movies and like take a moment and think about all the movies that you see your skin color or like people representing you in that movie, and what kind of character are they playing, the role that they're playing, because that will impact us. And that is either the same way I said, after I watched the movie and I left, I felt empowered. How are you feeling after watching that movie? Is it really a reflection of you? Did it inspire you after you watch it? You're like, I'm going to go and hustle, I'm going to go and improve myself, I'm going to go and be a better person. Or you watched it and you felt nothing, or even worse, you felt degraded. You felt like that's not like how we are, So definitely I can say this movie had a huge impact. And I wanted also, like, I heard, I did not know the accent was included because of him. Like, the director was talking, was it the producer, was talking about how it was just going to be, an American accent. And actually, Chadwick came to him and he's like, "What if we make it an African accent?" And that was beautiful to me, because when he came up with it, wow, like I didn't know he was this kind of person. Because you might think that's just an accent. What's the big deal? It is a big deal. You see, like it's supposed to be the movie. The movie is the Marvel movie is about the superhero, this country in Africa that is powerful in the world, that has a vibranium, and it's hidden from the world, and they do a lot, they protect and all that, and it's in Africa. I think they said Uganda. So wouldn't it make sense to have an accent of Uganda? Like, yeah, right? So the fact that he had it, it just sometimes you guys, like the diaspora community or the Africans that were born and raised in the rest of the world, or especially in America, you guys like talk like like an American. And us, we have accents because that's our second language. I like, talk to me in Amharic, my first language. I can talk perfectly fluently. You can't trace an accent. That's the reality of it. But because English is our second language, we will have an accent, whatever it is. So for him to also represent us in that way, it was well thought of. It was like a great representation of it, and it made me happy that it actually came from him as well. I learned that now after his death, unfortunately. But that's one of the things that he has done, and that was beautiful. They've also included a South African language. They just made sure to make it authentic. Like, as much as it's made in America, they made sure, if they're representing, like if they're creating an African hero, a Black African hero, they're going to go above and beyond to actually reflect that. It's not just a cover or, like that, the name of it. And I loved about that. I love that about this movie, as they did and there were a lot of black people in there. Like the majority of the cast was black, and the women were so strong, and they didn't paint us as, oh, like, I need a savior, I need a prince. Like, they were the warriors, and that was so beautiful. And there were, like, if you look at history, there are lots of black African warriors, and I think they did well in that aspect, and they represented as well, I think. And the one that is really special to me, in my opinion, is Black Panther actually created a bond, a unity, and understanding between the African diaspora and African, us, the ones on the ground, because black people everywhere, like, felt like, wow, that is us. Like, it represented us so well that we bonded through, the picture they painted of, like, the ancestral power, and that's how they represented it. And yeah, if you count up, our descendants are the same. We come from the same source. And for black people and African people loving this and dressing up, if you've seen people going to the movies dressing up in African attire, and being proud of where they came from, that I think really did well in just joining us together and saying we're one people. And both parties were really proud and happy that this movie came out. So that's what I have to say about it. Let me read some of your comments, and yeah, we can discuss a little. Amanuel Zalalem, hey, said, I have the same accent. Yep. We have it, and it's so nice to see it there, instead of us like feeling like, like we have an accent. Yeah, it's okay. Like, this is our second language. Do you have an accent in your own language? No, so it's fine. Because I'm saying this because some people come for me in the comment section. They're like, what are you, an Indian? What's your accent? And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is my second language. Leave me alone. I'm doing this in English because a lot of people can understand. And my purpose in starting this YouTube channel was to talk about Africa, to talk about unity and preach about unity in the diaspora community, in African community. It's just, that was my goal. And for that goal, I can't be talking in Amharic here. Who would understand me? So that's the reason why I started this channel, and it's in English. So please don't come for me. Leroy, thank you, said, you're so beautiful. Tenny Greney said, powerful representation of Black people in spite of our brainwash. That is very, very true. That is very true. They did well in the representation aspect of it. Like, the reason, as I said, like, they made sure to get everything, the accent, the attire, the people they casted. They did it really well. And yeah, a superhero that's a black dude, how awesome is that? King T'Challa. Like, it was just, the feeling I felt after I watched that movie is indescribable. And yeah, they did well in the representation aspect of it. Somebody, Dapper Romeo, said, do you wake up looking, but I'm gonjo? Do you understand I have makeup on, right? But yeah, I think I'm beautiful. Thank you. Tahi said, Tahi Fiola said, I love your accent. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Amanuel Zalalam, what do you mean it was a different actor? Platinum. Okay, I don't know. I think that's a response to someone. Yeah, Platinum said the accent was a different actor. Really? I don't think so. Really? Chadwick was only the face of the Black Panther? I don't think so, because when I heard the producer talk, he was saying how he did it himself and that inspired him and blah, blah, blah. He made a really, okay, it's not blah, blah, blah. He made a post which it really brought me to tears. And he was talking about how it was his idea, and he tried, like, my understanding was it is him, but I could be wrong. Are you sure, Platinum? Too well felt it. Emmanuel said, you don't have to, we all felt it. Dapper, Salam Konjo, hi, Susan, RIP, yeah. Namanu, rest in peace. Dapper Romeo, hi, hello, Lynx, hey, beautiful, how are you doing? I'm doing well, and I am here on live as I promised. I feel so proud about it because, like, sometimes when like I see people doing this lives, I'm like, do I want to do live? Because you see, if I'm filming myself and I have the privilege to edit and cut and post whatever I like, that's nice. But if it's live, if I say it, I said it. It's out there. So it used to like scare me, but now I think I'm good. I'm good. Like I'm doing well, I think. Um, okay, so I guess I'm done. No, I see another one. Tenny Greeny says, good morning. There are plenty African brothers and sisters here in the USA that inform me about their upbringing, but you keep me up with current I think events is what he's saying. Thank you. Yeah, I try. I try. And yeah, it's good to know. Like, I'm glad they're telling you about their upbringing too, because when I am a believer of when you know someone's background, where they came from, their culture, you can understand them more because there is cultural shock is real, and some things might shock you because we're raised differently, especially in America or Britain, like anywhere, France, Italy, like we're like it's different. So it's good to know so that you don't judge someone or you misinterpret what they say. So I'm glad you know Africans' background. Hey there, which African? Do you know Africa is like a whole continent? So which country are they from? What are they telling you about their upbringing, and what different like what are the differences from like what you heard, with yours? Taharaka said, good evening. Hi, hi. Calvin said, inspirational, uplifting, empowering, mutiny against the slaves, the slavers, right? Slavers, yeah. So I'm guessing you're commenting that what the movie did for you, I think. So yeah, it was really inspirational. It was uplifting and it was empowering. Like most definitely empowering. And I feel like they kind of got it right too. I know it's a fiction, but like when they were talking about the vibranium and the resource that they have, it can change the world. But look at Africa. Do we have the same resource? Yes, not that's made up vibranium, but like for real, the things that we have in our grounds that make the world go around, even though we don't benefit from it. Hopefully, we will soon. But that is the case, and we actually have those resources, and I feel like even that was like a low key of really accepting um, the wealth that of natural resources Africa had. Amanu said, I can't believe I have to wait 12 more. Oh, this was before I started the live, right? Okay. So Harry said, good evening. And Sankofa said, the one and only, the beautiful Wangil Zalalam. Good morning from me. I say, my sister, much love and respect. Good morning, my brother Sankofa. Okay. So I guess Pixel I've already responded to. She or he, I don't know if you're a she or he. This is one of my favorite African channels. Discovered it on African Diaspora News. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy this channel, and I'm glad you find me on African Diaspora News channel. That's where I contribute. I work with Philip. Okay, let me see if I missed anything. Mrs. Kerr said, there are many stories to turn to movie which will empower Blacks. For example, Victory of Adwa. Yeah, Victory of Adwa. That's okay. I don't think many people know about it, but I did a video on it. I think it was for African Diaspora News Channel when it was Adwa Day. I was talking about how when the colonial power Italy came, how we defended it, like Ethiopians came together and fight them off, and that's why we were never colonized. It's really truly a good story if Hollywood would take it. But you think Hollywood would be interested in Black people kicking white people's ass? I'm not sure. Oh, I said that. Sorry. I'm not sure. But yes, that would be a perfect movie. But maybe we will do it ourselves, documentary, because at the end of the day, why would we want them to tell our stories for us? We should tell our stories. by ourselves, to ourselves, for the rest of the world. So yeah, Mr. Kerr, I am with you on that. Susan, you are pretty. Thank you. Platinum said, I saw an interview with the voice actor. Wow, I did not know that if that's the case, but what I know for sure is it was his idea to make to make it an African accent for T'Challa to speak with an African accent. That's what the producer said. So okay, I didn't know that. Leroy says, it is the best movie for me. I am with you 100%. Tanny Greney said, The Black Man, the Father of Civilization by James Morris Webb. Read it. Okay, we will look into it. Dapper Romeo said, Africa to the world, Rwanda is the best, super clean and safe. I wish my African sisters would stop dating and marrying the very people who enslaved us. Okay, first let me talk about the first one, Rwanda. I hear it's really clean. I've never been. I really want to be. Hopefully one day not hopefully, okay, hopefully, but I'll still go. Like for sure, it's not an if, it's like a when. So I'll definitely see Rwanda, and I hear that they're super clean. And yeah, I heard that. The one you said, I wish my African sisters would stop dating and marrying the very people who enslave us. I get you. Let me be clear. I get you. And the only thing I would say about that is people can't choose who they fall in love with. Like, that's my belief. But with that being said, I just did a story on a previous post. If you see it, like this white man came into Kenya and dated over 40 women and, allegedly gave them AIDS. We don't know. It's been investigated. So with that being said, there are some things like worshipping the skin color. That's what I hear usually, like because of the psychological impact that slavery and colonization had. People tend to think, without them being calculating to be like that, it's just they respect or put a white person on a pedestal, and that's the reality. Not all people, but most people. So that one is wrong. I will agree. If a person likes someone just because of their colors of skin, even if it's white, liking a black person, that's not right. That's like fetish. Like, that's not cool to me. That's just like weird, and I don't consider that love. But if it is real love, I honestly will not be saying, why did you marry? That's your choice. Like, do you? But if it's about, as I said, about the color of the skin that you're falling in love, or money, like most of the women that were sleeping with the man that I reported on, if you didn't watch it after this live, you can go and watch it. He was just sleeping around every day with different women. And all this while, allegedly, he had HIV/AIDS, this white man, and he gave it to the Kenyan woman he's been sleeping with. And the craziest, scandalous story was one of them was actually engaged to be married. And that lady was going back to her fiance, and then when this white guy blasted all of them all over social media, he posted their pictures and stuff. So when he did that, the fiance saw it and he was asking her, why are you doing this? Isn't this you? She's like, photoshopped. And it's like, no, it's not. And anyways, he told her, go away, the engagement is off. But it's scary if these women were now going back to Kenyan men and, having ancestral sex there, possibly giving it to them, and it's really ridiculous and sad. So unfortunately, that's the case, and I am against that 100%. So let me see. Hota. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What is that? I have no idea what that means. Somebody explain to me, Lynx. I don't know what you said. Even Allah say, I say, I don't know what you said. Anyways, yeah. So Black Panther, to come back to my point, Black Panther united us, I would think, in a concept wise. Wait, ADOS is how most identify ourselves in USA. Oh, African diaspora. Put like put the meaning of it. Like, A is African diaspora, means peace. Oh, I thought it was African diaspora. Okay. means peace. Peace. Okay. I was going to say sawa. Sawa is it okay or yes? Yes, right? Yes. Okay. So, oh my God. I'm embarrassed, but yes, it means yes or okay. I forgot now. No, it's okay. It's okay. Sawa is okay in Swahili. I just taught you a new word. Um, anyways, yeah, uh, I I I feel like it brought us together because I've seen lots of people in the diaspora community wearing the African attire and going there doing the Wakanda sign and just being proud of their ancestral background. Because some of them I hear, I don't know, you'll tell me that they're not happy or proud of, like they don't even want to be identified as like my ancestors came from Africa. It's like, yeah, I'm a Black American. I don't care about that nonsense of African and blah blah. So if it can empower those people to accept where they came from, and also the movie itself, if you remember, Killmonger is a representation of that. Like he was taken and he was raised somewhere else, and that's basically who our brothers and sisters that were taken away, and then us, we're here. So yeah, I think it was a good representation overall. Means hotep means peace. Okay, now I know something new. Okay, am I saying it the right way though? Hotep, hotep, or hotep, hotep. I think so. Susan said it's okay. Sawa is okay. Yes, Susan, thank you so much. Because I was on the spot, I messed it up a bit, but I know sawa is okay. Like that's my favorite word. I'm always saying sawa. It's Swahili. That's like I don't know a lot. I'm working on knowing, like learning Swahili, but it's a really sexy language. Um, okay, what did? Oh, ADOS was definitely something different, right? Stands for American Descendants of Slaves. Oh, okay, that's so cool. Okay, I did not know that. Tiny African Descendants of Slaves. You're here. Phil say it a lot. Okay. um. Dapper Romeo, it's not real love, Konjo, it's all for the love of money. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, some of them. And lots of sisters marry this white because they believe life with them would be better. So sad they don't like what they see in the mirror. I heard that a lot on my, not a lot, but I heard that few people commented on my last video that they don't like what they see in the mirror. But that one, I don't, we can't be sure it's about self-hate. Yes, some people are there, like don't get me wrong, yes, there is self-hate, and all of us face that, like low self-esteem, and we have to really work at it to build it. And like I can tell you, it was hard for me. Self-esteem, I had issues. Like it's now I'm growing to love myself, like everybody, especially women. I don't know why, but we are more hard on ourselves and stuff. There's that, like I will not take that away. But and the money, you are right, but it's not just that. Is my opinion is not, it's not just that. For example, the one with the fiance, the example I just gave you, she had a literal fiance that she was going to marry, that he left her after he heard this. So her, you can't tell me it's because she hates herself. She already is engaged to get married. Like she had somebody that loves her, but she went ahead and dated this guy, cheated on her Kenyan boyfriend, fiance, with this older man that can be like her father, this white man. So this one I would say is more like, once she's a cheater, I like her character for me. Then and there, like it's like zero for me. Like it went down because she cheated, regardless of it's with a white man or a black man. She cheated. She went ahead and cheated. And secondly, it's about, maybe she thought she would have a better life, as you said, a better life, a better opportunity, and money and stuff. But like hating ourselves, I just don't want to put it in that box. There are so many various reasons people can choose to do that. There's one too. The report says he was manipulating them. It's not like he just says hello and they're following him. It's he puts effort in it. He works hard to manipulate them and do what he wants to do. So you have to understand, they're human beings. They're women. Women, when we're told that you're this or that, like we tend to fall for things, and that is why you men take advantage of us. So we can't just wrap it up and say it's because of this, you know. That's why I'm careful to not say that that's just the reason, you know. Shirley says, okay, thanks for correcting me, family. I don't know, is it for me or I'm not sure. African descendants. Ah, okay, it's not me. He said American descendants of slaves. Okay, it's not for me. It's a comment between you guys. Somebody commented. Pixel came. Hi, welcome. Marcel said Africa had a powerful, real technological civilization. It was called Kemet, aka current Egypt plus Sudan. Wakanda is imaginary. Yes, it is imaginary. But what we're saying is, even if it's imaginary, there's Superman, there's Spider-Man, there's even Ant-Man. There are all these superheroes representing the Caucasian community. And when our kids, whether we like it or not, whether it's make-believe or not, whether it's imaginary, our kids will grow up watching these things. Even if you don't show them at home, they'll go at school, they have friends, they'll watch it. But when they watch, it's good to have them represented. Like, it's good for them to have this role model to look up to. All, like, of course superheroes are made up, you know, but we cannot deny the impact it had, and it has, and it will continue to have. So why not? Of course. But yes, to your point, there are civilizations in Africa. Not only that, Aksumite dynasty, do you remember? Like, it was one of like one philosopher. Was it a philosopher or writer? He said he's seen great powers in his days. Like, it's in his book, in the first AD. He was like, I've seen is it first or fourth? I can be wrong, but ancient times, when there was when Greek wall of China and all those times, Roman Empire was there. So he said there are the greatest empires I've seen. Is he mentions China, he mentions Roman, and he mentions the Aksumite dynasty, which is the current day Ethiopia. And like, when we learned it in school or in movies, we watch always the Great Wall of China, the Roman Empire, the blah blah, but they never talk about the African empire that was so huge that it had what do you call it, countries, when they pay tax and stuff for you, it expanded to the Arab world. What is this? Yemen, I know some of it. It's part of Saudi Arabia, I think. And even like the coins of that king, the African king, were found in India, modern day India, which means they used to transact, and his gold is found there. That means they accepted his gold. Either they used to pay tax, or, you know, there were colonies of them, like that country, or they used to trade. So that they will never tell you. Yes, and one of the things I really would love to do is talk about this, you know, ancient dynasties and powerful civilizations that nobody wants to talk about because it's from Africa. Even it doesn't matter how big it was. So one of those, like, I would love to do some things about them, just to tell our youth not to forget, because history, if you don't tell it enough, if you don't talk about it, it's going to be forgotten. And I think that's the plan. You forget your history, and then they feed you this messed up thing in the movies, in the songs, in just this industry, you know, and they represent to you this, like, this one-dimensional person, and they're like, that's your representation, and you're like, no, there's so many things to us. This is just one person you're giving me. And so little by little, the history will be forgotten, and this will be our legacy. What you see now in the rap games, and tattoos all over the face, and disrespecting and hitting women and drug addiction and all these things. So that's why I'm really against movies that portray us that way, but not necessarily movies like Black Panther. He represented us well, make believe or not. He, not just him, the Marvel themselves, they did a good job in, you know, making those roles a reflection of us. The women were so powerful and warriors. The men were, you know, smart and strong. Look at his sister, the way she was. She's the one that designed the what do you call it, the systems and stuff. So I love it, to be honest with you. I know some people criticize it's just a movie, blah blah. Yeah, it's just a movie, but it's a good movie. It's a good role model to have, and I'm not mad at that. Jim Denson said, "We think the Europeans are superior is the truth." Yeah, like most people, I don't want to say everyone, but most people, unfortunately, and that's not their fault. I will not say it's because of them. It's because of programming. It's because of what you see. It's because of what has before us, what came and our ancestors and how they were treated, and then now your great grandparents and your grandparents, what they tell you, and that's what you know and that's what you see, so you're like, okay, respect to white color and maybe and mistreat our own. That's the unfortunate thing, but that's why I would not be hard on people like that. But education, I think, will change it. Once you know how powerful you are, once you know it's just skin color, you're all the same. I think that's when you can start seeing change, actual change, instead of telling people, you don't be like this, why are you hating yourself and hating on them. I don't think you'll bring anything. You won't change anything. But what you can do is, like my brother mentioned earlier, there are ancient civilizations, there are actual uh, black heroes that lived and walked the earth, and tell them about them and show them that it is possible. Let me see if I miss. Yeah, Laz T said, love Aksum, also the ancient Nubians. Correct. Singularity said, I think it's not for me. It's not for me. So Laz, Neolithic people also were neighbors to Aksum. Yeah, there are so many dynasties that I really need to do my research on, so that I bring to you guys, and we can talk about them and discuss about them and see what we can learn from them, because the next generation needs role models, heroes, needs guidance, and we really don't need what this industry is pushing. Let me see. Dapper, FYI, even though Ethiopia was not colonized by the British and the Italian, one of the issues is colorism. FYI, even though Ethiopia was not, oh, it's a repeat. Colorism is everywhere. Colorism is everywhere. And to be honest, allow me to be honest. In Ethiopia, I didn't see as much colorism as I am seeing on now on YouTube, on TV, on movies, and on, I'm like, it's this bad. I honestly had no idea it was this bad. So for me, maybe it's my experience and where I'm from, because in my family household, I would say in the overall family, I'm more of in the darker tone. But like when it comes maybe to my brothers, like I'm lighter than them. So I've never faced, are you this, you're that. Honest to God, maybe it's my experience because I hear it goes around a lot. But it was not bad for me. Like I was never in a group of my friends, the lighter one, so I never had issues with it, or nobody vocalized it to me and said, you're darker. Like, oh, it was not an issue to, I guess it can be the circle or the community that I was raised in, but totally colorism is also an issue, along with tribalism, along with racism, that we need to eradicate, because we need to know that we're one people. Just because I'm lighter than my brother who is in here, I saw him in my comments earlier, so does that make me a better person? Or just because I'm darker than my mom, does that make me a lesser person? I don't get that concept from all the things that are there, like racism and colorism and tribalism. The colorism part within the community is shocking to me. Honest to God, that's the shocking truth that I have faced. And it's really bad in America, apparently. I don't know, you guys will, you can tell me, but the YouTube comments I see, or the people talking about it, it's a huge deal. And I did not know it was that big of a deal until now, maybe when I was really into internet and all the things that I do now. But I've never noticed that where I was from growing up. Okay, I see no comments. There are no comments. Shirley said, thank you. We all need to become one. Yeah, like, come on. Like, we're divided. What we're saying, we're different tribes, so we don't like each other. And then the African Americans are saying, we don't like Africans. And Africans are saying, African Americans don't see us the same way. So, okay, tit for tat. Like, seriously. Now is the time to become one. That is exactly why I said I loved Black Panther, because it united us. It's like nobody was saying, he was African, so he's not my superhero. At least I didn't hear a Black person say that. They all accepted it. They all loved it. They all imitated it. They all wore the attire. They all, chanted Wakanda, and that was my experience. And that was the best thing ever, I think, to come out of this Black Panther, the unity, and also the future generation thinking that they are represented, and they're like looking at him, wow, the superhero is a Black person. Like, just imagine how cool it was if you take yourself back when you were young, because the what I remember watching, like, my first superhero was Spider-Man, and I think I was 5 years old or 6 years old. I could be wrong. My brother is in here somewhere, so you comment. Probably you were not born, so no, you wouldn't know. So that was like in VHS. So it was so cool. I loved it. Now imagine, go back in time, like try to think what your younger self would think, seeing those women, or the warriors, and T'Challa and Killmonger, just how you would have felt. Just think about that. Let me see if there's anything I missed. Sure. Yes, America has a huge. As a Black man, I don't care what shade you are. Thank you so much. Because sometimes I get hate and I'm like, is she even Black? And I'm like, now that's one new thing I have never heard in my life. I've always been Ethiopian, I've always been an African. But then I started getting comments like, are you even Black? I'm like, what? Like, I'm an African, like East African. The definition of Black. So it was so confusing to me. That's why I said I realized that the colorism is so bad now. Like, I never had the idea that it was this deep. But thank you, that means a lot. Dappers, Romeo said, Haile Selassie time, it was the worst. I was not born that time. I think my parents were. But I have no idea. From what I hear, of course, he was a king. He was, it was a dynasty, he was an emperor. So it's not democracy or anything. So that was the king. You bow down when he goes and comes and stuff. So I would assume there was no democracy. That's my assumption, but I have no idea. Surely, yes, America has a huge problem with colorism. That's what I've realized now. And sadly, I get sometimes head comments, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm Black. And then what did I miss? Last, he said, I love all Black women from Black. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know what fry. Last year again said, from Black, blue to bright, yellow, love our queens. Thank you, sir. Thank you, King. Singularity Scored said, have the same experience in my family. We go through all skin tones, so it never was an issue. Knowledge of our past from came to the thrones of England became a command override. It unifies us. Yes, I agree with you. If you come from a diversity, skin tones, as I said, it's like so different, all of us. I never realized it. Maybe because I was a kid. I have no idea. Like, I never realized this. So to come into the world, and then the world tells you things you've never heard, and you're like, oh, okay. Because as I said, like, in my community, I was never the lightest. I'm like the dark or the medium. So it's like, okay, so I've never heard this. Yeah, it's a cultural shock YouTube brings to my life, huh? Like how Person Kid said, like how you explain your experience with Black Panther. Yeah, I had a wonderful, wonderful experience. It was beautiful. I left that movie theater empowered, and I can do anything. And that was truly my king. I know it's make believe. Don't come for me. I know it's make believe, and I know it's made up, but it was a really well done, made up superhero movie for Black people. That's what I'll say about it. Let me see if I missed anything. Tenny said, read Brainwashed by Tom Barrell. Okay, I'll have to the book recommendations, I think I said that before. I'll have to read them again and write down the recommendations. I highly appreciate it. Maybe next year I'll read them. As I said, this year we're only left what? August? No, September, October, November, December, January, only 5 months. And I have books that I have to finish that I didn't finish. So after I'm done with them, January, I'll take all the recommendation, I'll read them, and we'll even talk about them if it's really uh, like something that hits hard. And the one book I'm going to read next month is The Confession of Economic Hitman. I hear he tells a lot of stories of what the world powers have done to, other nations to dismantle them, and even Africa. So I'm really looking forward to know that, so that I come to you and tell you what they did, for those of you that didn't read it. Susan, wow, I love me. Thank you. Thank you to Susan. Dapper, the darker Ethiopian was servant or slave. That part, by the way, I don't know. I have no idea. There's like, we had house helps, servants is house help, right? In our house, and it's that we don't get them because they're dark. She needs a job, she gets there. So I don't know Dapper Romeo. I am not sure what you're talking about. Maybe you're saying in ancient times, but even ancient times, I've never heard about that history. Was my favorite study in school. I never heard that, but I'll do more research on it, which, if that was the case, that is real bad and not cool. Anyways, guys, well, I've been here for 46 minutes. I was supposed to be here for 30 minutes, but you guys had me going. It was a really nice conversation. Thank you guys so much for keeping this going, because if I'm here and I'm just talking to myself, it would have been, I would have finished in like 10 minutes and I'll be done. But the fact that you guys are talking to me and giving me ideas and contributing to the conversation is making it entertaining. Thank you so much, you guys. So next week, if you have nothing to do, if you're not busy, come back the same time. I will be here. I'll only, like, my time is Eastern, right? I think it's Eastern time. 6:15, the same time that you joined now. Anyways, for us it's evening, for you guys it's morning, wherever you are. Even America, you guys differ, right? Even if you're in America, time differs. So anyways, whatever time zone it is, whatever time I got in now, you come back. Tuesday next week, I will be coming in Tuesday for a live, and we're going to chat and choose a topic and have a discussion on it. Yeah, that's the plan so far. And let me see if there's any comment. Let me read it and then I'll go. So Singularity Squared said, the war that Killmonger wanted was over. As soon as the spaceship landed in the ghetto playground at the end, Sun Tzu in The Art of War agrees with. I watched it a long time ago, so I remember what you're saying about the spaceship and the ghetto, but what was the concept? Like, what it was about ending it? I honestly forgot about that. Okay, so Platinum said, thanks, let's talk about tourism in Ethiopia next time. Sure. Now because of COVID, I will not be, traveling to Ethiopia. But as soon as this COVID thing settles down, like, that's my priority. I'll save up so that I can take you guys along with me. I want to go to Lalibela, Aksum. Like, I even feel bad admitting this, but I've never been to Aksum. I've never been to Lalibela. Yeah, so I'll travel. That will be my first experience, so I'll take you guys with me, and we're going to talk about that. Not only Ethiopia, as much as I can, anywhere that I'm able to go, I'll definitely take you guys with me so that you can see how beautiful our continent is, for those of you that don't know. Dapper Romeo, bye Nikonjo, bye Tuesday, got it. Okay, I'll see you Tuesday. Singularity. And Susan, thank you very much. God bless you. Good night. Thank you, Susan. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it, so that, I was not talking to myself. I appreciate it. I'll see you next week, Tuesday. But during that, this week, I think I'll post one video. And I'll see you next time. Thank you guys for being here. Stay blessed. Have a good evening if it's evening, good morning, day. Just have a blessed day, all in all. Bye, guys.